Alright, let's just get this question out of the way. Is Kaze a difficult brawler to play? Absolutely, she is right up there with Mortis and Larry and Laurie, but that doesn't mean she's bad. I think she is a perfectly balanced brawler who requires high skill and lots of practice to be used effectively. Granted, if it wasn't obvious, I don't have her fully maxed out, because this new update messed up my financial status. Now, I could have just postponed making this video until I did have her maxed, but after a week of using her, not only is she still good at this level, but I think I figured out which mode she does best at. So with that said, let's get started. Now, Kaze has to be one of, if not the most unique brawler in the game because she essentially has 4 star powers, 4 gadgets, and 2 types of attack. A regular attack is basically a combination of kanji and shades attacks, since you can dash forward and do 2 types of damage depending on how you aim. Knowing this, the first mode that I want to bring up that isn't solo showdown is gem grab, because if we apply the same logic and strategy we use for Mortis and Genji, Kaze should do really well here. In this match, I solely focused on grabbing gems whenever I could and then just dashing away immediately. I only ended up using my super once, and it was to rush towards the middle when no one was around. But of course my team did a really good job at keeping the enemy team at bay and distracting them long enough for us to win. Moving on to the second mode, I picked Hot Zone, which honestly was a lot more fun to play than Gem Grab. It's definitely more chaotic, but it's also a good way to test Kaze's attack modes, which ended up being more useful than before. Apart from dodging, landing a critical hit on a brawler really depends on your position and which direction the enemy is going, which forces you to kite them a certain direction. There are also times when it's more beneficial to use her ninja aspect, such as when an enemy is closing in right in front of you. Personally, I enjoy using her Geisha aspect for attacking more than her ninja one because she has higher DPS and faster movement speed. However, when it comes to her super, I think Fist of the Brawl Star is a lot more practical than Fanstorm. I think Fanstorm is a cool concept and could be used well in some situations, but it feels more like something a support brawler would use rather than an assassin, which doesn't make it a whole lot practical. Anyways, that was Hot Zone. She does really well in it, but now I want to discuss the final mode, which I think is the best to use her on, which is none other than Heist. This is where her Geisha aspect attack really shines because you're almost guaranteed to land critical hits on the vault without needing to aim properly. In this match, my strategy was to move up to the left side and into the bushes, which allowed me to get a few quick hits on the vault while also dodging. That was basically what I did throughout this match, and it helped that the enemy team was too focused on defending than attacking our vault. Now, going back to what I said about her ninja aspect super, this is another great mode to use it on for dealing damage and just getting things done faster. I will admit it's not perfect since it does take 2.5 seconds for her explosion to go off, and you might end up dying before that happens. Regardless of that, I expect to see a lot more players using her on Heist in the future, mainly because of her unique attack. With that said, out of all the modes I played, I did enjoy playing Heist a lot more. Now, I was planning on talking about Solo Showdown, but that feels too mainstream, and I think Kaze works better in a team. That's not to say she's bad at Showdown, in fact I got the majority of her trophies from there, but she can take advantage of distractions with teammates better than by herself. But those were just my thoughts on Kaze, and you guys can tell me what you think about her and if you're considering using her. Anyways, have a good day.